skin ourselves a legendary. And I lost my PC stream. I have to accept that it's a good possibility that I'm not able to run Discord, PC, and a stream software all on 8 gig laptop. Especially when you're trying to set up with different sounds. So I'm going to have to do something if I really want to keep running on the PC. I'm going to have to find a way to have the RAM up high enough that I'm not constantly losing either my sound or my ability to use the PS4 controller, or everything is. So 32 gigs is probably the minimum, so I'm thinking about taking my old workstation in and seeing what I could do to get the RAM up to 32. It's at 6 right now, so it shouldn't be too hard. It was already designed to be a gaming computer, so it shouldn't be difficult. Maybe an NVIDIA card might have to be added, but... So let's put this in to our goods. Okay, I've got to quit running around. So once I get this to it even get to 50, then I get the top end loaded up and it'll be good. I'm making a very, very conscious effort to speak in a way that I can be heard and not quietly, because it's not helpful. People can't hear what you're saying. Sometimes I just mumble away as if I can, no. I gotta make a real effort to talk as clearly as I can. Alright, I think that's done. So let's... I should pull in the wagon, hunting wagon, see if that's got anything, or at least I try to always make sure when I connect in to make sure that I've got running exactly what I need and that everything's... What did I call the bounty wagon? That was ridiculous. Time to get my glasses, but I thought... See, I was just on the PC, and those are in exactly the opposite. I better check what we're going on here. I don't even have broadcasts on there. Yeah, trying to run Discord on the PC just doesn't work for me. It doesn't even give me sound. It disconnected. Let's see... There we go. I think if I click on this, I can see what's going on the stream. So, yes, I did give up on the PC. I know you had said twice that you were calling, and I get not even the least notification. So sound, I wouldn't just try and play with sound in the middle of a stream either. It's getting sound to work on with 3 different things is usually a challenge. So the PS4 is brain dead easy, right? So disclaimer, as Canadians, we're a lot different than Americans, but we can still kick your asses in Red Dead. We'll have a stern talking first before we shoot anybody, but we can still kick your asses. Oh, shit. Yeah, I might do it at another time when I have a system that's like right now the PC. It isn't just that it's the PC. It's a PC with 8 gigs, and every time I fire up Red Dead, it says that I have that I am not going to be able to. I will not be able to. It won't work properly. I could have unexpected results. So when I already know that in the beginning, it's important that I get the proper stuff. Even learning the software, this was the 3rd different software that I tried because I really wanted to see what they were all like. So but yeah, another time when I've had a little bit of time to play, like honestly what I want to do is take my workstation, the tower here, and go and get a proper 32 gigs put into it, and I think that's a collectible, or what the heck? What's over there? What am I seeing over there? No, that's just a light. Seriously, just a light. Come on. Is it just a light? No, it's a collectible. Time to go get my glasses. I'm an old person. So you can feel free to tease me, make fun of me, because I'm old and need glasses. Yesterday, I was trying to make a stream where I was doing every single card that you could do. I've got everything. I can't even collect you guys. And I'm trying, on the suggestion of all of you, to make sure I speak loudly enough so that I can be heard. And I got to take that off. I'm trying to learn little things about, you know, cinematography. Oh, this is what I was gonna... See, it does show me that comments are made in places. Exactly. Seriously, I will be, I'm a year away from 60, so I proudly say that I'm a pre-retirement, but I'm pretty close. And I have nothing but time now to fuss around and learn these things, so I'm not learning them to make money. I'm learning them because I can. One of those sick people that likes to learn stuff for fun. Okay, I gotta get rid of my wagon and call my horse, because this is silly. Yeah, just call me Grandma. I got 2 grandchildren. Actually, they play in here. My grandson plays GTA as well as both my grandsons play GTA, but my grandson plays Red Dead. I had to send it to him. So, you know, I got to get rid of my wagon. And just okay, you know what I'm going to do? Well, if I have my moonshine, I'm going to go and do a run. I can probably fast travel. Yeah, I'm trying to build the hours up, because when I went and looked at it, before you can even think about monetizing, you have to have like 4,000 hours. So I thought, okay, fine. If I just keep putting it in here, I'm not even worrying about a clientele. And one of the things I realized about that is that it does help you with the analytics. It shows you just exactly when people joined, when they parted, and if there is a pattern, you know, you can see it really quickly. But everybody's got a different style, and because of this is obviously the PS4 controller, same controller that I use on the PC. So if you notice, well, I'll show you my level on here. You can see what I'm talking about. Not as high as a lot of the streamers. Some of them are up there at, you know, 700-800. But my level is 582, and I still learn every day something new, because even though I run this account and I run the one on the PC and my husband's account, I can't run it. I don't have it done. Damn it. It was ready on the PC, but not here. I was going to say how I go through those checkpoints. I just blast through. And I can usually shoot about 3 or 4, but I just get through so fast. They don't even get a shot. Let's see which one we want. Appleberry's my go-to. Okay. We must be patient. See, now, David, you need to have a PS4 account, too. You could go on here, too. Oh, I didn't do any of the dailies over here, so I gotta go and do them all. We're gonna go change. I'm gonna change to the Gothic, because I can do it.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
But yeah, I know it's just boring to sit and watch somebody play the game, but that's how I'm going to get my hours in. And I'll get lots of feedback, so let's go with the Gothic. So there's this like air band with the banjo that you can do where you're pretending to play a banjo out in Maine, like in free roam. And supposedly it came out in the second Outlaw Pass, which I got. I can't find that emote anyplace. And I think that it was like at the time where they were doing, you had to collect them at the time that they were there. Yeah, I mean, once they can do the cross-platform, then you're gonna have to rub shoulders with the PS4 players. Okay, I better play this music. This is gonna give 4 minutes worth of time you'll never get back. All right, let's get her to play. Come on, pianist. You play the music, I'll dance.
We got ourselves a music lover.
Yeah, I had to go with red hair over here because I'm not quite gray yet. I have to work on that.
Okay, boys. Just
All right. Which one do we need here? Oh, you need a bold dance. I know, right? You have to lower your standards there a little bit. This is pretty dark in here, isn't it? Or is it just my granny eyes? There were a few that I used to enjoy riding with. Pony Macaroni was one of them, and Austin BMX. And it got where when they were trying to stream, we were having such a problem because I got one more minute. Come on, one more flourish. One more. So have I at least gone a minute here? I think so. Oh, she's not dancing. Not when I try to do this. Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm hitting the wrong one. Gotcha. Alright, flourish again. I'm trying to do some of the fancy things, like if you're going to move slowly like this instead of the jerkiness. I mean, you still get the feeling of the movement, but without the... If you go too fast, it's so hard to see. Alright, back up to there. I know in real life this is... There we go. Now I can go steal this guy's banjo. Give it up, man. I'm taking over. I actually play banjo. Used to. Mandolin. So I like this. This is way more passive. You can do a lot more movement when you're in here watching these guys. See, best game ever. If you didn't have to have or ever look at the programmers ever again, or Take-Two or Rockstar, without a doubt I would say this is my favorite game ever. So we must have not too much time left. Oh, nice flip. See, I don't get the disconnects, and I'm on exactly the same server. So if I go 5 minutes on here and I don't get disconnected, that pretty much says that it's Rockstar's server itself. Oh, that's only 1 minute. Oh my god. Alright. Let's do a nice perusal of the bar. Oh, let's see, let's get it smooth again. if I get the PC back up too, I will invite you if I'm doing the Etta Doyle. It does pay $2.25 now at least, which is still better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. It does say too that there's a lot more people from the outside, like people who aren't subscribed, that are dropping in, and then it gives you all the analytics. You can see when they drop in, and she's got about 30 seconds left, I think, and then we are good to get out of here. So even those short blasts, they're too hard to watch. That's real hard to watch, but this would be nice if I just took it nice and slow. Like that. That's how the cinematographer would do it. Almost there. One more flourish, and I think we'll just about be there. Oops. Let's see. Now this is the streaming, the YouTube streaming, I have on a completely different, older, slower running machine, and I think that in the future there is a possibility that I could put the sound over on there, but there is no sound on that tower, so I've got to rebuild it with sound, a video card, and probably at least 32 gigs for it to be worth it. So it has, at least it'll last for a little while. So am I too quiet again now? I can't hear the streams, so I can't tell. I will figure that out though. Come on, are you not done yet, gal? Yoo-hoo! God, we gotta be close.
Okay, hope y'all like this one. We sure do.
Yeah, this is on the PS4. That's why I say it is the PC. That's what the problem is, and I'm using this Kraken, the Razer Ultimate, and it just gave me a driver, and it didn't make any difference. It's all screwed up. But PS4, the sound, and I mean, they build in their own party chat, but the problem with running through here is they are listening to everything you say. And it might seem paranoid, but I've experienced, as soon as I've been in with a group of people in a posse and they start to badmouth Rockstar, and then all of a sudden they're getting disconnects and stuff like that on the PS4. So I'm not 100% certain that our streams aren't being trolled. I mean, I get it. They want to make sure that you can't use their system to say something bad about them. But it's not exactly free speech, eh? That's why I made sure it was 18 plus, because if I want to go in, I should go back and look at that stream, because I didn't, and it's probably one of the freaking funniest streams that I'll ever have out there. I still haven't seen her come up saying she had the last minute there, but I probably didn't. I missed it, but at least she's entertained. So much of this is learning, and I love it. I'm looking at your Aberdeen pig farm YouTube stream. Yeah, I remember when I first saw the Aberdeen pig farm, I was like, what? And I remember when people were telling me to play the story mode, because in the story mode, I didn't do it until I had already finished. I was already a 550 level over here in the PS4. So I should tell you, I know that a lot of Christians are not very supportive of tarot reading and that sort of thing, so I will explain too that I do tarot readings so that you understand. I guess the only thing we can say is, as long as we agree to be respectful, that each other have different belief systems, that we're probably good. I do my best to be respectful of everybody's beliefs, simply because I remember when I was a kid and I heard Desiderata, and one of the lines in it said, "Go placidly amidst the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence, and to be on good terms with all people, even the dull and ignorant, for they too have their story." And the truth of it is that too many people in this new capitalist world think that people who haven't got the ability to be a capitalist, or the want or desire, they kind of tend to... All right, little bear. I don't want to shoot you. You're too cute. But I believe everybody goes through life and learns what they're supposed to learn. Lessons are presented to them. I believe in very much Buddhist philosophy of, be present, live and let live. It's not a very popular sentiment right now. People are too angry. What the heck? Is that in the middle of a road? Something I've been noticing on the PC, another thing I've been noticing is that people are... Thank you. Yeah, no, I try my very best to be as supportive of everybody and their beliefs as I would like for them to be of me too, so it's not always the easiest for people to go outside of their own belief systems, because they don't often feel 100% certain what they are yet. So I always feel if I let people be who they are, I do my best not to harm them, and if they're reciprocal in that way, then it's good. Chrissy the Blesser. No, I don't think I have. I have had people come into my stream though, and have bots that attack, saying that the angels are coming to save us all, and I always wonder why a religion will insist that it's okay for them to redeem us all, and then get upset if another religion is trying to do the same thing to them. It seems to me that they're doing the same as what they don't want others to do, and yet angry at someone else doing it to them without understanding that it's also being done to others if they have a certain set of beliefs. So I try to disclaim that everyone can have their beliefs, but I personally believe we're all equal. I don't believe in colonialism, colonization. Don't believe in any of it. I believe that we should have been like I'm really big in the Dalai Lama's sense of how things should be done, and you know, I think he's a wonderful man. I think that the Pope is wonderful. I thought Mother Teresa was wonderful, but I do believe that every person should be judged on their merits, not, they shouldn't be able to say, because I'm this, that I should be able to tell other people they should have to be it, or, you know, they deserve to be dead. I just don't see that as a reality. And I think it comes from having lived as long as I have. If you get to a certain point, you realize that you yourself change a fair bit. So I'm doing my best to. All right, so I think we're good here. I'm going to be able to take a break here in a couple because this is not disconnecting. But what I might do while I do that is head over to... I'm just going to fast travel to... Yeah, that's easier.
There's been a general store. I thought this was
No worries. Back to camp we go. See, the transitions are a lot better on the PS4. There's better sound and quality, but they can listen to everything that you say, which I don't really like. Alright, should we do our... let's see. Yeah, let's do a resupply and make sure my gun's cleaned. It needed it. Yeah, I don't know who Chrissy the Blesser is. But in honesty, I have seen some incredible people like just come in and just randomly do kind things, and I'm just like, wow. One day I was singing in channel. Because if you're really, one of the things that they teach you in intervention for a hostage situation is the first thing you want to do is have them see, as a hostage, make them see you as a human being. Letting them know that you need to use the washroom, or, you know, saying, hey, I understand, or, you know, telling them that your son's birthday is on such and such a day, and just reminding them that you're a human is important. So I thought it really interesting. Somebody said that if somebody ropes them and puts them on the back of the horse, all you have to do is start to sing. Now, two things could happen. They'll keep you forever because you're a really good singer and they like it. Or, what have I to do with hostage intervention? I, for the longest time, was an applicant with the RCMP. And my father was in the RCMP, and so was my brother. And when I worked at different places, we worked also on suicide intervention. It's stuff that they teach us. I think maybe we're a little different here in Canada, where they execute you. Well, I was an applicant, and I really, you know, because I had had a father and my family was so involved in it, I really did believe that
in your own time,
it was a job for people who want to make a difference in the world. And that's what I believed when I was 20. And now I
We all
believe
became beholden to
that
pieces of
every
shiny
job,
paper.
regardless
Anyway,
of what it
my
is,
friend
and I know
has some more
this
goods to
from
trade.
experience,
We can hunt him
you
some
get
deer.
into a job, and what
By
happens,
we, I
especially if you
obviously
have a really
mean
good
you.
union
I
job,
have enough on my
you
plate.
start to think
Thanks, partner.
that
You're
you
the
are,
best.
it is a justification that it is like your God-given right to get your 3% increase because of the cost of living rates. You start to slip away from realizing that that's not normal, and not everybody else is experiencing that as normal. And then you start to think that they must have done something wrong not to be able to experience this. And then, if you get sick, or you have something happen that you can't do anything about, lose an eye, get sick, get cancer, whatever, you're suddenly in a place where I'm supposed to be getting a deer. Where you think that they've done a wrong. Oh, that's a buck. I bet you it won't take a buck, will it? I mean, theoretically it's a deer, but let's see. I've never really contemplated this to see if they consider a buck to be a deer. I mean, they say get a white-tailed deer, and I can pick them up, so I guess a buck is still a deer. See, I learned something. It's important, yeah, it is. The first thing you have to do is identify with them. So, say you came along and you're going, ha ha ha, I'm going to do this to you. What you're trying to do is terrorize me. So you're coming from a place of powerlessness. So what you want to do immediately, if you're the terrorist, is make me feel pure terror. Make me be afraid, because where you're coming from is you've been afraid. And whether rightly or wrongly, we get a lot of people. Now, Canada's really different from the United States. But we just responded to this COVID with, we need to up our immigration by about double, because Canada's population is so low, and they're all over 40. Our average age is over 40, so this COVID killed a great number of people over 50. So we are desperate for people to come from another country, and something a lot of people don't understand is that Canada was also part of the Underground Railroad. So the black people escaped to here. So we don't really have sort of the same experience, because our experience with most black people has either been people who got away from the Underground Railroad, or black people who came from Jamaica. And they're nothing even close. Wrong. They're not even close. We don't have the issues. But if you replace the issues that are happening in the United States in regards to the black population, it could be equally exchanged for the Indians and the First Nations in Canada, because there was a similar treatment where they were put on reserves, and there isn't even an attempt by the Canadians to pretend that they did not try to cause a genocide. We know for sure we gave them smallpox. I have ancestry 16 generations back, I believe, because I'm French Canadian. So I think Canadians have a different way. A lot of times Canadians will have one of their issues can be, oh, well, we're okay with this group of people, and we're okay with this group of people, but they might say, oh, well, we don't like the Muslims. But the Muslims I've worked with, when they come here, the Somali Muslims were escaping persecution. The Somali, as well as not the Serbs. There's another group that the Serbians, they were being systematically raped by the people who came in and took over, so that not one woman could possibly have a child of that race, or that wasn't their race. So they weren't really against the Muslims. It was more of they wanted everybody to be the same. So they impregnated as many of the women that they could, killed the men, and No, it wasn't. They didn't do it like that, but they really did. There was a real system, quite an incredible system when you look at it. The women who were quilting designed quilts that had messages, and they used these quilts and they hung them out so that when they were trying to help someone who was trying to escape, because once slavery was out, people were still persecuted just because, you can make a rule, but the problem is that in America, the laws aren't going to change how people think. They aren't going to change how they feel. And people have a much more intense connection to the issues that face the United States than Canadians. We're actually, we apologize. We are in the midst right now of our government apologizing to all the residential schools, they figure there's close to 10,000 children who were taken out of their homes, put into these residential schools. They know for sure they have the bones and the bodies of 3,000 little children, but their attempts were to, and my mother knows about it. We talked about it a lot. The RCMP had to go and pick them up and take them away from their families. So there's a huge big settlement, and one of the reasons that they keep alive the hatred between the people is because they didn't want to pay the settlement. If they could have kept them, on these reserves and all their children, because they're born to people who drank too much, because drinking, drugs, are a result of people being marginalized and not having any power. And if when people don't believe that, you can't sort of take one part of psychology and say, well, I'll use that, but I'm going to ignore all the rest of psychology. They're all valid, but people pick and choose what they want to believe. So we in Canada have a lot to answer for if we want to call ourselves fair and just to all people. We're saying that here's the difference in Canada. The America has what they call a melting pot. If I'm wrong, tell me, please. And as a melting pot, everyone who comes in must melt down and become the same as everyone. By melt down, I don't mean have a fit. I mean they must break down their ideas and try to assimilate and fit in with everybody else, and don't make the things you believe, a bone of contention to the people who already exist here. But quite frankly, when the people came in and invaded Canada, the Indians were already here. Which game sounds? No, and that's the deal. We don't. You have to accept too. Canadians are socialist. We're as socialist as you guys are afraid of us. We are that socialist, 100%. I don't have any problem with giving a third of my wage to ensure that everybody is going to have safety. If I want to go and get mental health counseling, I can with COVID going on, and they don't, ask me how much money I have. If I don't have the ability to pay, one crazy person is a danger to everyone. So why wouldn't we help them? Why wouldn't we help them, get their lives back? Sometimes people can have like a nervous breakdown. Doesn't make them crazy. It just means that they couldn't handle whatever stuff was happening at that time. So, when you go in to help people, you have to understand that if you're going to help them, you have to understand them. The only way to understand them is to remove some of the barriers to seeing what they face as challenges. When my husband started to work in the First Nations here, most of the people that he worked with had children or had affiliation with, part of the family having fetal alcohol syndrome. And so how do you not factor that into the equation? Can I just say everybody's equal, or do I now have to say, well, there's a lot of them that have fetal alcohol syndrome, and they can't help it because their grandma was in a residential school instead of with her family, and instead of being able to learn by watching how to be loving and kind, what she learned is that her friends were scrubbed. They were brutally scrubbed. One fellow told me that he was taken straight to the big barrel, the big wash barrel that they had, and ducked in there. But it's not being done because they needed to be clean. It was more like they were trying to make them feel guilt for what they were. And what you know in psychology is that you don't ever, oh, I need all these belts, let's do it. Keep it on vaulting, I need 10 of them, so I might as well just jump this fence 1,000 times. You know, and I don't mean to go on and try to tell other people how to think. I just try to make sure that they know that I think a certain way so that they don't get too offended if I say I don't agree. It's not that I'm trying to be judgmental. It's that we all have the right to disagree. And some people don't think that's true. But they will demand their right to speak. So I just... my sister did go. And I have to tell you that, honest to God, she and her husband went to work in the medical system down there, and when they come back, they're kind of they're like strangers to me because they don't sound the same anymore. So I think that America does assimilate pretty much everyone, and Canada does something different. We call ourselves a mosaic. And we try to bring in all the different things that we see about different people, different where they come from. And we try to see if there's something that they bring that's helpful. Like the First Nations have an incredibly, had a very interesting, I'm not sure what you would call it, parliament. And what happened is people respected how they had such large groups all get together, and they took their system of representation, and I found that interesting because there's something to be learned from everyone. I know, right? But the thing is, when you get older, it changes. When you're 20 and you're around someone older, I swear this is the truth, and I'm guilty of it. I was young, I was in high school, I think I was about 14, and I was asked if I could help out the school. Over the intercom said we were looking for someone to come and volunteer to help with something, and so I went down not knowing what it was, and it was to stay with a blind woman overnight because her husband had to go for some testing and he was also blind. So I went and stayed with her. And if I hadn't stayed with her, I wouldn't understand. She's in a wheelchair and blind. And how she can reach stuff from her counter is only if somebody makes sure that they're brought down from the higher levels. And her husband's also blind, but he can normally do that. So yeah, I helped out with that. And sorry, I'm on a stream. If I'm babbling, I don't mean to be rude. Oh yeah, I swear all right. One of the things that I believe 100% is that people who don't swear, they're not as instantly genuine as anyone else. If a horse steps on your foot and you don't say, "You fucking son of a bitch," you probably aren't real. You're not a real human being because it hurts like hell. And if you don't swear, how would you get it out of, like, it's part of the pain is to yell and scream and swear. So that's honest. So I kind of look at people who are able to swear. And I'm not saying tastefully because it's no such thing, but if you're able to genuinely be in touch with who you are and always, you know, we all have different opinions. And because I know mine were really different when I was 20, I don't ask people to have the same as my opinion. And I know that all the life experiences that they have will completely change them too. But I understand enough of what to do in a situation. Like, here's what I would do. Somebody ropes me, and I start singing. Traveling with the rodeo, it's the only life you'll ever know. Started in New Mexico, must have been 1,000 years ago. Used to be the best, they say, riding young wild horses for his pay. Now he's much too old, it seems. He only rides wild horses in his dreams.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I marked it. Oh, my
I
husband had
have no idea.
Yeah, click over there to just like past that window. Look. Come on.
No, no, no,
Okay,
no, no,
I
no,
am
that's
going
the
to
wrong one.
zip out of here because
Just go with the
otherwise
water, as long as you
I have to announce to everybody that I'm streaming just so they don't feel weirded out.
Yeah, it's not that one. It's like way out there.
Oh, really? Okay, let me try this. If I go in here then, into my... Oh man, I did not know that. Thank you for that. Okay, so settings. So if I go in here on PS4 into the audio and turn off... So if I go and turn off voice chat, okay, can you tell me if I am still streaming? I just turned it off. So there's no voice showing up on here, but what I want to know is if it shows up in the stream. And it's got a little bit of lag there, so it's going to take a moment. Oh, that's way better. But now, tell me if you can hear me or not. Because there's no way that I'll be able to... there's no way that I'll be able to tell it. Because I don't have sound on the other machine. So while I'm doing this, I see all these chats up on the top, and I keep looking into the... Oh, sweet. Oh, thank you. That's the trouble that I was running into earlier with the PC. You know how you were saying you could hear me there and on the PC? But the problem is if you're in the PC with me, and the lag that we were having, you wouldn't be able to hear me talking about the thing I was talking about at the time I was talking about it. You can only see it on the... So what I do when I'm watching, say, when I was watching Austin's stream and trying to be part of what they were doing, because we went once and did a... I don't know if it's still on his stream. He made a video. We all helped him out. We brought, like, our flaming arrows and all the rest of it to, you know, the, up in, by... Which is that, Bear Creek? The curvy creek up where the bears are. Oh shit, I gotta go look on here. What is it? It is up in... Wait, no, it's not that far up. It is... There it is. It's Little Creek over there, that space there, yeah. Thank you. It's where we went and did a sort of short clip of short movie clip, and Austin was saving some woman who had been kidnapped, and so he sets up fist fights and everything. It's really quite good, and that's sort of what my interest is in here. Is, you know, once I get sort of the issues of sound and everything, I would love to make up little storylines and just have people act them out. Yeah, Hanging Dog Ranch. So he goes in there, and that's where, like, he does it all through the mountains. He's chasing this guy, fighting to get this girl rescued. And it's funny, because we sat there and waited, and then they told us when to light up and put all our flaming arrows onto the ranch house. It was pretty good. This is so much better. Oh my God. There was, like, while I was in there, a group came through, and they're all talking, a bunch of girls, and they're all talking, and I try to tell them it's a stream, but I don't, like I say, I just don't know what the legalities of it are. So I'm running around in circles. I got to get a plan here. I did go and start my moonshine, didn't I? Didn't I? Yeah, that is exactly what I'd like to do, is make up little storylines, get a group together that might like to do it. But I mean, it took a lot for him to get, and we waited around. I think we put 5 hours into a clip that didn't even last longer than 15 minutes. But if you were to take all the... See, I'm running here because I'm talking. I was right in front of my Moonshine Shack. So the bear's not hungry. I think he already ate you, so I should be good. But yeah, I'm just watching all these chats happening in my notice, and I have no idea what it means there. I could, except for the Discord won't work on the PC, and the only headset that I have to run into the stream here. I know. So we're in here. Let's see how we're sitting there. But I am going to get this going. Like, I'm not saying I won't ever do that. I'm saying I feel the most comfortable when I go and research something, figure it out. So I'm pretty close. Okay. So I probably got about 5 more minutes and I can run it. And I was going to say I'll send you an invite. Then I realized it's not going to reach your PC. Oh, you know what I should do while I'm waiting? I should go do one of her crazy missions. Let's go and do Come Hell or High Water is always fun. I put it on difficult, like a higher difficulty. It was hard and shouldn't have. But I want to do this. Replay the mission. I got like 10 minutes to kill before that. And I wish you got more for this, but yes, my niece also lives in Texas. My whole family had lived in Texas. No, sorry, my sister and her whole family lived in Texas for a while. Oh, okay. See, for me, I like learning the technology the most and seeing how to adjust it for this and that. And when I run into a problem at first, I'm like, ah! And then I'm like, oh, okay, I think I figured out that. And then it breaks again, and then somebody comes along. And in the midst of that, you usually have about 20 people tell you the totally wrong thing to do, and you have to sort of wade through that to figure out. Because I don't want to upset people, but because there could be something in it that's going to be useful at another point, even if it doesn't work for me right now, might work another time. See, on the top right, I don't know if that comes across. I should look at the stream and see. Duh. Yeah, you see on the top there? I have no idea. That number isn't going up because you and I are saying things. Because you've said in here, like, how many statements? Let's see. I guess maybe it could be. I guess it is. It's from every time something is said, it bumps up there.
Set it down there.
Man, he is bossy.
Come aboard. So, this here's the merchandise. It's top-notch stuff, so be careful with it. Come on, help me get it unloaded.
Lamis, so funny. I like the way that this agent here insults him. He's so dumb. You apparently you shot your mouth off, you moronic hit. That's my favorite. Oh God, out of all sayings in this game, when he calls him a moronic hick.
Internal Revenue. Lemuel Fack, you are under arrest for the manufacture and distribution of an illegal substance escaping state custody.
Yeah, I know. Now that I went and looked at it, I was like, okay.
Today, we will bring the fullest force of the law down upon you.
See, what I want to do is I want to get this up. Most people stream in Twitch. So what I really was doing most here on YouTube was trying to, because you got to get those whole 4,000 hours, I was thinking, well, you know what? If I work all the kinks out in here, then I'll be able to stand up. Okay, don't die. Hop. Okay. Take my health up. And then start shooting. See, talking about grannies, one of the reasons I don't go into a lot of these fights is because typical granny reason, if I don't have my glasses, I'm like, If I don't have auto aim, I'm not going to be able to shoot anything. Oh, I see you sneaking over there. I'm going to get you right there. You know, I did have a thought here. You know, a person could get onto this train. This is the train that's going to be at the end of the mission that brings everybody in, that kills you. Couldn't you stay off here and then, like, kill the guy who has the... What is it? Not a Gatling gun, but... Oh, he's got her moving now. Now let's health up again. We're finished. We're finished, are we? There we got you and you. See, I just like shooting up the town like this. There's something so satisfying about it. Get a move on there, lamb, before we're dead. Yes, keep shooting at them. Okay, and then we got to get over to the other side because we're going to have some boats coming up along here. They usually get... Oh, there's still some more shooting at us from over there. There's some ammo on the boat. That's always nice. Yeah, okay. So another one just appears sort of out of nowhere right about here.
Throw everything you got at them. We can't afford to lose these ingredients.
So that on the other side. Let's see, is he over there? Nope. There he is. Okay. I did this one yesterday. It was pretty nasty. But I'm not on the hard difficulty today. I decided I could just keep my ammo.
Oh shit, look! They're lined up along the coast! I'm a sitting duck! Take them down!
Oh, he's gonna throw dynamite. Get him fast. No, that guy right there. Get him. Shoot. Oh, that was not smart. Don't let him get him. Don't let him throw no dynamite at you. There you go. I like to make things go kablooey. So I think we're pretty good there, and then we're gonna go around this end here. It's not gonna be. Oh, where are you shooting from, dude? I should put my health up first. Oh, I know. We got him up there, too. Somebody on here. Oh, shoot. Okay, you can't die more than once. So I'm going to be in trouble if I don't get out of the way. They're shooting at me. Okay, let's get our health up first. There we go. Now we can get up here. Jump up. Dumb. Just about went right off there. Let's go over here. back around.
Some expert piloting, if I say so myself. No.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Why did I go and get you? Guns up. Kill on us.
Things get really bad along the It's weird. It's real foggy. See how it's glitching? Look at that. Weird. Oh, it's so much nicer knowing that I don't have that audio in, like,
More of them in front of us.
my game audio. Alright, they're going to be along the shore here any time now. Look at all the mist, though. This is unusual for this.
For Christ's sake, they're still coming.
Usually, this is going to be the tough one. Then we're going to get lodged. We're going to get stuck on a sandbar here for a little while.
Looks like I made it to Sisika after all.
You're a fool, lamb.
Come on, boys. This is just a passing visit.
Okay, what's up there? Oh, a boat. See, this is quite different. I don't recall these guys showing up this late. So, yeah, they're mixing it up. I like that Rockstar, you know, when they see that we get used to a certain pattern, they come along and kind of change her up a bit. That's good. Yeah, Lem, I'm not feeling too damn sorry for you. And then the Gatling gun comes from the train just to make things interesting, right? And you know, I've had a few people in Posse before that are really good with their scopes. So you can't do too much about him unless you put a scope on, and I'm not really one of your real good sharpshooters. So I wait till we get just a little closer in before I decide to. So it's going to get real bad right up about over there after these little trees here. They get real close to the front. Everybody comes off, heads for you. Should have hit that dynamite instead. I just keep doing this, ducking behind. Okay, health up. Now the nasty. Let's get that guy over there. You're going to give me a medal for you. coming up with dynamite to get me. It's a little intense, eh? That guy's got dynamite right there. You do go through a fair number of bullets, I'll tell you. Alright. And I better health up before I pop up there, because these guys are pretty eager to kill me. Alright, Lem. Anytime now you could get us out of here. Health up. So I just gotta live now. That's all I gotta do. And you might be able to go and collect a little bit of this. Here, let's see. See if they've got any express or regular. No. How about this guy over here? Stand up. There we go. Those ones I can take.
Thank God for that.
So that was that.
I'd rather die than be alone in a cell for even 1 minute with that maniac Hickson.
Hey. Yeah, I think it would actually be really fun to get Discord going.
I think that's all of them.
My priority at this moment has been to get a system that won't as easily run into problems as my PC. But the fact that I can actually do a little bit on the PC, I've managed to stream this game and Hina.
Goddamn revenuers.
I like the Assassin's Creed. I do.
Believe you me, starting with them drivers. Can't trust anybody these days. Anyway, at least we got what we can.
Any of the new Assassin's Creed. Some of the older ones are a little bit glitchy still, so I don't get into it too much because it's kind of hard to. Which one was it? It's not Syndicate. One either Syndicate or Black Flag. I found it really hard. The mechanics of it was extremely clumsy to try and move around, and it's the problem if you get used to the comfort of the new games and the way. It's sort of like if I was trying to say to you, you have to go and use a PS4 controller to play your game, you'd be like, what the hell? Why would I do that? Yeah, grandmas swear here too, by the way. Some of my best friends could make a truck driver blush easily. Takes a moment, and I want to see if I actually get. I don't think you get any pay for it. I'm pretty sure you don't. It's situational. I swear, you'll notice, I swear when I am surprised by something that's killing me. Like people and it'll always be, oh, you fucking son of a bitch. And it's always like, just caught off guard. And that's, yeah. Because I've always had, an issue with people who say you're not supposed to swear because somehow it was blaspheming. And it's not. Like, the word has nothing to do with God. None. I don't understand it. Like, swearing to me is a perfect expression of how you feel. It doesn't mean everyone's going to like it. In fact, most people don't like it when you express yourself because they don't agree. I'm trying to think, what are the most swearing? Like, truthfully, the most swearing I've done was when I was training horses. The horses, they're horses are different than they show on here. They're not going to sit there and shit on your head, because in all my life, in my whole life, I had horses. Never, ever, ever, for fuck's sake, a horse does not shit on your head, ever. And a dog does not walk in front of you, right in front of you, and shit there. Ever, 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 unless he's got diarrhea and he's terrified of you. And at that point, you deserve it. No, but the people who talk about swearing, they say that it's blasphemous. I personally, now remember our difference in faith, don't believe in blasphemy. I don't believe that God and whatever created us in a way that we could ever do anything that would make him, not want us back. I believe God is equivalent to kinetic energy, that God is the sum total of everything in existence. And that is how I managed to not get rid of God when I realized that religious people in general in my surroundings were the most hypocritical, lying assholes I ever met in my life. Having said that, the most wonderful people I ever met in my life were also very religious. So there is no everybody's the same thing here, right? But for me, horses do that. I was in a show, and this is funny because what they were doing is you had to run to a goat who was he was tied, or that person held him. He wasn't tied. A person held on to the goat. You had to go from a start point. You had to run as fast as you could in this show, catch the goat, and tie a ribbon on his tail. Okay, so I go first, or I think they drew names on who was going to go first, so it was going to be fair. And so I ended up going first. So I run down, and I'm one of the few adults. The rest of the kids are young people. I think I was 23 at the time, and the rest were all like 19, that age. And so I go and I do it, and I, like however many seconds, I can't remember how long it took, but then the next person goes, and they can't even get the ribbon on the goat's tail. So then they turn around and say, "What did my bot do to you?" My bot just told you, right? My bot just... Yeah, and see, a horse will step on your foot. He will run away from you. He will purposely step on your foot. My ex he was so mad because he was trying to trim my horse, and the horse, of course, didn't like him because horses are extremely good judge of character. And he didn't like him because if you ask a horse to do something, one of the tricks is you can ask a horse or you can tell it. And when you ask him to do it, if you have a really, really smart horse and you ask him to do it, you can slack off and that horse will do all your work. But they're just so smart and they anticipate your needs that my Nightbot gets a little over anxious. I went into edit and tried taking out, like if a person used caps. It doesn't even, it says view delete. See, it's deleted all these things and none of them should have been. Not a single one of those. So I get you. He went and deleted everything. Look at that. Do you see that? That's insane. Okay. I don't understand why it would do that. Let's see. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try and do my delivery here. This is what I do. You know what? I didn't do the one thing that I usually do. I go into defensive mode. So let's do that first. This is one of the few times you can actually change it. Get out of the way. that was easier than whatever else I was going to have to do, because he was going to be here and I was going to have the gun pointed and he was going to start some nonsense because I was in his... Okay, I'm going to get this back going, because when I stopped to shoot him I screwed it up. Alright, here we go. I'm so sorry. It is just... I'm not doing anything, just be aware. David, I did not do that. I gotta go in and do something to Nightbot. I will learn this, but he's oversensitive, and then he just deleted everything. But he didn't put you in a timeout. Or did he? See, I hate when we get... See, this is how I can do this as I'm going through and not get too messed up, and it stays on the path. And then I can go through here.
You there? Hold up.
See, I never stop. I've never stopped ever for them. I just drive right through. They don't... And I mean, the one bump that I have here was from the... What do you call it? The ambush that was there. But normally, that was me, too. That wasn't them that did it. Had I not started trying to shoot the guy in the beginning there and got off path, this works perfectly the whole way. But as you get towards the end, one of the things that I noticed here, I'll go fix that as soon as I'm done with this run here, and just kick the crap out of Nightbot. That's all I can say. What the fuck, Nightbot, you moron? Why are you doing this to people? So that's done. And I don't think I hear a collectible here, so I'm going to I'll fast travel back to the Moonshine Shack, start another one, and then go get you fixed. I mean, not get you fixed, get Nightbot fixed. So, I never did watch to see if I got paid anything with that. Okay, so Nightbot, fast travel to Moonshine Shack. Yeah, I think that we could actually have some fun, because you get a few people. Here's what they said when I was in I took a management course, and what they said: if you want a perfect management course or a perfect management team, you want a young man, and this is given the cultural realities of today. You have a young man, a woman, she can be almost any age, and an older man. And the energies that come about from those three people will probably give you the best synergy. If you have two young men, they get too competitive. If you get, and the dynamic of the older man and the younger man, almost every older man sort of has that understanding of that dynamic. But the younger man and the older man won't have too many problems with a woman. Add in two older men or another woman, and then the dynamic gets competitive in their own ways. So I am heading over there now that I'm inside here, and see if I can't fix that nasty little thing. There we go. Nightbot, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I'm going to part him from channel. You were timed out for 5 seconds for posting emotes. Oh, okay. When you put the 4 emotes, so I have to go in and spam protection. So repetitions, I can take that down. Disable for repetitions, or just disable for excess symbols, and I'll adjust it as needed. I'm going to disable the link, because you were going to try and post something at one point and couldn't. Excess caps, honestly I could care less. Blacklist, yeah, well, if I'm already saying fuck, I'm pretty sure that I shouldn't stop anybody else from saying it. So the only thing that I really have is excess emotes. Disable. Repetitions I'm not going to disable, because that one really is a problem. So let me see if that's fixed ya. What do I have to do here? And I don't know if I can put those messages back. I think I could. Pin message? Go to channel, pin message. No, that's not what I wanted. Learn more. Okay, anyway, I did edit Nightbot there, so he's really only gonna, I might do that and links, because a person can usually send another way to send a link too. And what happens is I'm going to get some, I'm going to put the excess caps, because I just don't understand why it deleted everything that you had there, that you had put in there. Why shouldn't it just have gone to that message? Don't get it. Don't get it. Okay, so if I go watch that, can I do that? There we go. There's so much I have to learn on this. So if I were to go in, there we go. I see, it gets interesting because I've got both of them here. Okay. Start that back up. Watch the channel. That's interesting because I can't do anything to get those back, those messages. View deleted message. Okay. So does that mean that they're back in the chat now that I've clicked on them? There's probably a huge learning curve on this too, so I can... So what are you doing right now towards EMT? Are you focusing more on firefighter? That's the first time Nightbot did that. He'd been, you know, kind of told people not to use caps or something like that. Oh, and you had the caps too. Okay, so with the caps out, it didn't respond to that one. I distracted you. Sorry, after the beginning of the story. I'm not sure which next message you were talking about. Oh, you're licensed already, okay. So you're just thinking about getting into it. I imagine there's lots of availabilities with some of the stuff that's going on. So many people sick. Or are you experiencing that a lot of people are sick there, or is it sort of calming down now? They're saying here they think it's peaking, but I'm unsure. Now, if you say, you're saying after the beginning of the story, What's the next message you have, or the nest message? I'm not sure. I don't assume that it's next because yeah, I put Nightbot in here because right my very first day that I streamed, I already had people bringing their bots in to flood the channel. So, yeah. Like that. So it's hard. Like what I'm trying to learn to do is just focus on one little space at a time. Get a really good sense of what I need to learn, what I need to do. Because when I was doing my Oracle and Tarot readings, I just did those because I found there were just so many people that this was years ago. This was long before I knew about Red Dead. I was doing readings for people. And with my belief system, it's somewhat at odds with the my family's Catholic belief that you should never ever use an oracle deck or consult with somebody who has extrasensory perception. You're supposed to leave all those alone, and I don't really understand when rules are made. And I guess one of the challenges with the United States versus Canada is Canada, there's no church allowed in anything to do with the government. Our church and state are separate, like majorly separate. And so people will say, Canadians are socialists, but one of the biggest things is the reason that we're not the same is because if you turn around and say, oh, that person, he was found to be, worshipping a certain different god, everyone would look and go, so? Well, we don't understand. So it's okay for you to have your god, and he can't have his. If there's no God at all allowed in your political structures, it becomes less of an issue. If it's not right, and if it's not right for everyone, and that's how socialism works, if it's not right for everyone, you shouldn't do it. And we still have it happen because capitalism is happening here way more than socialism. And so there's a battle between capitalism and socialism, and the United States is in a major problem because for the first time, it's facing the reality that a minority can pose a significant threat to the majority. And that was one of the things that we learned in university, is that there would come a point when democracy will be too heavy for a large population. So you don't see it working in India or China because if you had 1 million people, that's a lot of people. Canada has 1 million people in their biggest cities. We don't have a population. Our population is so much lower than yours that it would be impossible for you to actually grasp other than coming here, because there's vast places where you can go and be by yourself. Nobody could care less where you went. And then there's mental health. If you need help, we're at the point too where we are already being threatened. We can't give medical to everyone because capitalism wants to make it a two-tiered system. So if a few people say years ago while we were socialists, what happens is the United States, I mean, they drew my brother down, or my brother-in-law down, and he was working as a nurse, and so he got paid higher wages if he'd go down to the States. So the States, it was what we called the brain drain. They took a lot of we train them, they get loans from our government. They get all their education paid for, basically, and then, not paid for, but much lower than what it cost down the States. And then, instead of giving back to the community, they fuck off to the U.S. So people have a real big issue with that. You know, if people, like a doctor, say a doctor comes here and he gets student loans from the government here, you would hope that he would be staying in the country to work, but he's not obligated to. So when all our doctors that they gave loan and subsidies to leave, we have to bring doctors in from Nigeria. So, you know, when I go in to find out that I have cancer, I have a doctor who can't even read, doesn't even know how to read my lab results. I'd already been told the day before, because he arrives the day after this interim doctor came in. And when I walked into his office, he goes, what are you in for? And I said, oh, probably lab results. He turns around and says, yeah, they were all fine, you're good. I just been called in the day before by a visiting doctor and was told, you know, the level for the test was, it had to be above 40, and it was 16,000, and the guy couldn't read the test. I would say the missing piece is a God for everyone. How about that? How about when everybody appreciates that the Muslims have the same God and the Jews have the same God? Muslims revere Jesus above all prophets. Mary and Miriam are the biggest in their religion, and yet they're looked at, you know, by people as if they're the other. And they have exactly the same belief. They have zakat. They have to give away a lot of their, like a doctor that I knew in Canada here, she was required to come and donate to oh, is that what it's telling you? You didn't like it at all. Oh, wow. What was the long messages? I don't even have anything on there. Oh, Streamlabs. That's a different one. Okay. So I have another bot that I had in there called Streamlabs. Let me go in and see. I think I can edit from right here. Let me see. So it gives me the option. Let me see. You're not a remove moderator. I'm going to try that. Okay. So it took Streamlabs out. And I should be able to go back in and fix all of those. And Streamlabs is out now. Yeah, and that's the problem, right? One of the issues that I have with thinking that it was written for moral and religious people, you know that people can be very moral if they're Buddhist. They can have way stronger morals than you. So if you say religious people and they believe in the Dalai Lama, are they not moral and religious? So I'm taking out all the deleted messages. No, now I see it. John Quincy Adams said our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. What is religious? Define it for me so I can understand how you perceive religious to be. Put all those messages back. But at least I know the frickin' bots are working. Nightbot, I'm not scared. Stop spamming. I say, so Nightbot seems to be behaving himself now. Okay, I hope you're back. But for me, the fairness has to be for everyone. And yeah, we're running into much of the same challenges because we have a very fundamental religious group too, and most of them live in Alberta. We barely will allow them in BC. We're just so, tired of people who want to tell us how we have to live all the time. You can't do this, you can't do that, God says you can't do this. Well, if I'm living a moral life, as you say, and somebody says, like, let's examine a religious life. If a woman made oils and she put in lavender and she made a lavender oil, and she said it helps you with your breathing, or it helps you calm, it's sedative, she would be told, see, one right there, I do not believe in a God who judges my actions. I believe in a God that put me on this earth to experience things, right? If I believe in this as being a place where I believe quantum physics and quantum entanglement is going to prove that we don't even actually exist on this earth, that this is a place that we all get to come to, and you have no proof that that's not true, right? You have no proof of how or why we're here. No one who is religious has proof. They only have faith. So when people start to say, my faith is the only truth, I don't even care what religion they are. If I had a gun, I'd want to shoot them right in the head. That's entitlement, and it's arrogance on a level way beyond anything I want to be around, because it means I have the right to kill you. And if we're going to be like that, let's just go straight back to our instincts like we were as wolves, right? You come near me, I don't like the look of you, I'll fucking kill you. How's that, right? That's the fairness of saying that, because I believe it's right, then what I believe is right, and I can do whatever I want. But then when a group come in and say, well, no, we've all decided this is a group of laws, Canada said, not bloody likely, we are not doing that. That's ridiculous. We don't want church involved in our state. We want to talk and rationalize, and when a group of people come to a consensus, because here's the example, that's representation, that's democracy in action. If 10 are in the group, but one is religious, why does the one religious person get to say, I'm going to go and get my priest to come in and influence and tell everyone else that you're a bad person and should be, because that's how things worked. That's what America tried to get away from. It's why they left. And because the poor there didn't have the same rights. They were so caught up in the rights of the nobles, and if you were born without money, it didn't matter how much religion you had. That's why Ireland was in a fight with England for the last how many centuries, because when Rome came in, it took over England, and Ireland fought and fought and fought, and until they could kill Boadicea, that Ireland's winning. Rome can't take over Ireland. It's almost centuries that they go where they can't take over Ireland because they have a completely different system of beliefs. So what the Romans do is they come in and they say how it's worked for them is they come in and they say, we won't take over your religion. We're going to say instead that we're the ones who came up with what your religious beliefs are. So everyone who has a Christmas tree in their front room says that's Christmas. And none of them know that I shouldn't say none of them, many of them don't know that that's a pagan ritual that comes from before the Christians, where they worship the trees and they lit the trees up outside, and most of them kind of already lived outside. They were a fairly nomadic people, so that was how they worshipped, was, lighting up the trees because they worshiped nature. And they did have many other gods too, but, they worshipped nature, and they had more value. The First Nations had more value for nature. And what I saw, my mother, who was Christian, came along and said to me, when I said, why do we eat animals? She said, because God gave them to us to eat. I was like, that's interesting. God gave the animals to us to eat, except the animals were all here before us. So it just struck me that people try to use religion to suit what they want to say. And then when you go back and actually try to find what they're referencing, You know, it doesn't matter. The Bible was put together well over 450 years after Christ at the Council of Nicaea, and they did not include Mary's any information from Mary. Mary was the most important person in the Bible. She's mentioned more than anyone else, and yet they don't want her information. You know, there's a lot of, that's when so much is started against women. It's right at that time when the Bible starts and they refuse to include what women said. They could be a secondary backup or something, but they didn't give them much right to say anything. And so when you're looking at the things that are in there, why wasn't the book of Enoch ever included? It explains everything. And I don't want to, you know, get into religion and trying to tell people how they should be, but I think everybody has the right to their own religion. And that's one of the things that Canada, with our Charter of Rights, your right to any religion you want is protected. And I can't, you know, say anything against your religion, but if you speak out, if you speak hate, we can come and arrest you tomorrow. Hate is a crime. Promoting hate is a crime. So we're completely different. So how do we even try to, you know, try and understand each other when we have such different philosophies? And I've talked for a long time with a fellow from China, and he explained, I said, well, what is your religion then? And he said, well, we don't need religion. And I was like, I kept pushing. I said, well, then what is your philosophy? He says, we don't need philosophy. I said, well, what do you believe in? What do you have faith in? And he said, my government. How's that? He has faith in his government. Canadians are well known for not believing that their government is any good at any given time. We want to change our government as often as possible. And when you notice, I got into an argument at one point with my husband. He was saying we were trying to determine whether the Liberals or the Conservatives, which had been in power longer. So we went back to the very beginning, and it was almost 50-50. It's like, sometimes it was only a 4-year, but you know, we don't have our politics the same as America. We have the party at any time does anything stupid, like truly stupid, that could threaten us citizens. We insist that the leading opposition call for a non-confidence vote, and if there's a non-confidence vote from the party, that person has to, the Prime Minister has to step down. And England has much the same, but the United States has no such protection. So when you have somebody who acts like a perfect astard, you can't get rid of him. To me, from my perspective from outside of the U.S., I see that person has more God capabilities and rights than any citizen does. When Trump announced that he could walk into the street and shoot somebody and nothing bad would happen to him, my head exploded. I just went, are you fucking kidding me? And I just don't see that that's the right way for things. You know, it's hard enough to, you know, to be protected from people who would lie or do anything to harm your government, but when you can't stop the leader from doing certain things, it's just heartbreaking to watch from as neighbors. I'm not sure what religion, when you were saying what religion are they, I wasn't sure who you were talking about. I missed it when it came out. Oh, that's still not there. I don't know why it did that. No idea at all. just assuming that you are not there now, so I will try and get my my act together here. Go out. But yeah, I did find when my family went down to the States, I found that there was after not a year, not two, but after 20 years of living there, they sounded exactly like Americans. Same Texan drawl. They had the same mentality of talking about, oh, I'm evil. I have to tell you, when I walked in to visit, the dog came up to me and was all wiggly, a little border collie sweetie, and my niece says, well, I guess you're not a demon then. I'm sure she said right afterwards, I was only kidding, or she would say that if I told her how rude I thought she was. But to me, you get one shot. You get one shot at that sort of thing, and when people take those sorts of passive-aggressive shots at you, my husband is singing in the background. That's funny. Oh, let's call the horse. I don't need my nitro gun to shoot a bunny. I hear that owl. That's right, I was going to switch this to... Oh, don't put it on sedate, put it on. There we go. Alright. So I do already have it set not to pick up with the audio in the game, but not having my audio picked up in the game, but having it come through on YouTube. Thank you so much for that, David. That was very helpful. Yeah, I was looking at something that posted the... Oops, snake. Yes, I saw you. Take that off. It's so hard to see when I do that. He does not like... Very interesting. It's just frozen there on the broadcast. Very interesting. Ah, I see what I did. Silly girl. Get it caught up. There we go. Alright, let's take a look on our dailies, see what we have yet that needs doing. They're still showing as... There we go. do we... Oh, there should be some still here. Haven't defended a campsite. Did my vaults. 3 bounty targets. And lastly from horseback. Oh, I need 6 carcasses. Okay, I can do that. Let's cheat. Oh man, let's cheat. Let's head on over to let's head over to Emerald Ranch. Pilfer us a few sheep. Yeah, let's see. If I go into... See if I can take that down a little bit. Oh yeah, it's way too high. So if I go there, I'll keep the sounds, but go with the score volume way down and see how that works. Okay, I think that should be okay. Is that a little better, or is it still, is the... Alright, time to go steal me some sheep. This is like the lazy ass way to do this, and I'd apologize, except I'm a lazy ass. Okay, I'm gonna collect this liquor bottle right here because it's buzzing its little head off. Is it the liquor bottle or is it no cards? So it is the liquor bottle behind here. And I gotta drink some Tennessee whiskey so I can collect it. There we go. Alright, now we can pick her up. You're very welcome. I'm not able to hear it because I don't have sound on the machine that I use to watch, so... And of course I've got the sound already on this side, so I would sort of have... I suppose I could grab some alcohol, but I'm going to do these sheep first. Because I can usually get 5 in the wagon, and 1 on the horse, and then I'll have 5 perfects. Alright. Although, you know, it's the middle of the day. When I try to do this in the middle of the day, it's almost inevitable that I am going to get a Visa 2-point. Don't want you. Almost for sure that I'm going to get caught, but then I just say, what the heck, and turn it into a, let's put my wanted level up higher. But yeah, this is my collection method. A little bit stabby, but he stays perfect, and I don't waste any bullets. Alright, so the witness is there, and I could go and shoot him, but what I found out is if you want to get your wanted up to get that award, you can get it 10 times, so. Alright, put you on there, and then we'll call our... The only thing, like, if you went up behind a horse like that, he would not shit on you. Do you know what he'd do? He'd kick you right in the frickin' head. A horse cannot see from... Okay, in all honesty, a horse cannot see you here... Nothing. He can't see you. His head is straight ahead. So prey animals, animals that are prey, have their eyes on the side of their head, and predators have their eyes out front. And if you look at like cats, they can't move their eyes. They stare. They're intended victims down. But if you're prey, you have the eyes on the side like rabbits. So if you look at humans, our eyes are in front, so you know what that means. I want a bounty. Put on your mask. Oh, I don't hear. I don't bother. I want them to come, because then I can get my level up. So if I look here, they should be here in time. But if I look at my progress, what I'm trying to do as often as I can is get my bounty. See... turned in. 13 turned in. Where is it? Wanted turned in. The longer I guess, if I can get up to 60 minutes, then I get a full thing that I can turn in, and it's. He's going to start shooting me now. So I just keep doing this now. And then I loot these guys. And this is an extremely good way to get a bunch of frickin' loot, because there's sometimes I have to turn in my 3 and I don't have any because I haven't done this. But yeah, you just sit here, you call your wagon. No, you got to make sure to, wherever you're going, that you're always able to shoot it down. You might get me. I gotta get my health up now, quick. It's sort of like a mini call to arms, except you're getting loot, right? Speaking of which, do you like the call to arms? Because if you ever want to do that on the PC, I will do that. I'm loving to get the 10 waves. I've already gotten the award, but that's fun. That's one of the things I got to say that I think was well worth it, that got put in here. Is, but with everything, they do seem to get into a little bit of a. If it works once, they repeat it and repeat it and repeat it over and over. So I'm watching my amount. I'm at $1.20. Once I get to $5, it's iffy in here. On the PC, I could probably keep doing it up to $10, and there would be a little chance I'd get messed with. But here, people really want to bring you in. They're good with it. Oops. You're gonna shoot me. You're gonna shoot me. Yeah, I'm not good at combat either. I'm the same. I'm just like, if I can get in with a group, they're good. It's the same with the Ruth. That's why I learned how to get in. I watched Mossy Sparks did a really good YouTube on the Emerald. I might really stay out of here, and then I can get rid of the Wanted, I guess. Because I really am going to try and pull my wagon in here and get the last few. Oops, don't want horses. We want a vehicle. Own vehicles. Call out. These guys are going to be coming again on their other wave, but I'm not here. Oh, this kills me. This is freaking hilarious. I don't know if you've ever seen this. You know, you can run in here and hide in a bush. When they're wanting you, you just this. Watch this. If they come after you, oh, I'm already far enough away. I already lost them. But if you hide here, this one's not so good. You got to kind of be inside one of these big ones. It's a little farther out. Anyway, they'll ride right past you. They can't see you, and that just kills me. That's awesome. That's like my husband. He's the same. He's more. He doesn't want to play a game. Well, no, that's not true. When he comes in here, he says he might really like it, like the idea of being able to shoot people, because in some ways it's kind of cathartic. But for me, I guess not so much. I swear that's how I get my frustrations out. He would go and kill everybody and say, "Well, there's a job done." Everyone is anti-stereotypical when you get to know them. It's beautiful, you know. You get to know people and you find out things you assumed, you were way wrong.
Getting a little low on supplies here.
Yeah, I'm thinking I need to go on a bounty. I'm going to go do a bounty. You know what? I'll show you the Edda Doyle I was telling you about. No, I still have my stupid wagon there to go and do that. But if I have goods cooking here, I might just run over to... I like going to Blackwater. That's my favorite space to go to. Let's just do it. Who's barking? Oh, that's the dog. Okay, he takes me to the bottle of absinthe, or he brings me to people who kill me. I'm following you. Where are we going? And I can't bring my horse, but as soon as I get far enough away from that, my wagon will disappear anyway. There we go. I better have my gun out because it's almost a guarantee he's gonna bring me. Oh, is this looking good for the absinthe? There it is. No? You come along and loot him, and does he have the absinthe? Or did I get anything? 17 cents. I got nothing? Okay. And then there could be that, but I don't see the box here. Usually he brings you to the box that you can collect the absinthe from. But I'm not seeing it, so horse it is. Oh, my wagon is still there, so. I know, and you know, that's a thing I got to be really careful of, because you know how there can be stereotypes. I was playing with a girl who was from Arkansas and didn't for a second think how she might take it, but we were heading up to, oh, no, not the Skinner Brothers. Who's the crazy morons that live in up by Roanoke Ridge? What are they called? Not Skinner Brothers, it's something else. I'm just trying to get far enough away from my wagon that I could call my horse so I can go and do this bounty. And I made a joke about how, yeah, let's go up there where when you get divorced you can still be brother and sister. If I get the map, you can do that. That's what I was doing yesterday. I took the collector's map, and I just went after every single alcohol bottle. But the only one that isn't on there is that. Okay, the Skinner Brothers. Yeah. It was easier to ride away. I know it doesn't make any sense what I just said, but okay, I'll tell you the honest truth. Right now I'm playing without my glasses, so anytime I go into a menu, so say I pull up this menu, most of the time I can see it really clear, and most of the time, because I've been playing this for 2 years, I get to saying, yeah, I know where everything is, but I've still hit it, accidentally gone into the wrong thing, and it's pretty annoying. So, yes, it's Grandma. Grandma can't see so well anymore. But I know, yeah, the absinthe is the one that I'm always trying to get. And agarita. Agarita is the flower that is down by... the ones I have difficulty with are absinthe, agarita, and bloodflower. And not that I don't know where they are. It's just that going in there to the time, you have to be in there at 10 o'clock, after 10 p.m., and before 5. And I often use the collector's maps. So you can see that might be a challenge. Yeah, from 10 to 5, so. Alright, I'm going to fast travel over there and I will do this. And if I'm lucky, I can do it again today. Are you just going to dance there in place, or are you going to move forward, you goofball? Look at my horse, just doesn't want to. Oh, he's so gorgeous when it rains. You know, I can say all that I want. I'm going to turn this sheep in before I leave, because I got that far. I might as well give it a sheep. One more perfect animal. I'll probably find all the others as I go along.
Gonna be out of supplies before too long.
Yeah, it's almost done. Look at that. I did need that wagon to keep it going. But frankly, I don't care. I'm going to go and do a bounty because it doesn't cook anyway, so... you know what? I'm going to just head over there. I should just go to Emerald Ranch and use that spot. It's just as good. I am trying, though, on this account to do all the infamous. Here's where I could certainly use some advice if you have it. In our awards, it's if you look in your awards and your bounty awards, you have to bring a certain number of infamous. Horse, get out of the... Oh, there we go, I can do it. So how do you know who the infamous are? Some people told me, oh, they're the ones that have $3 signs. And so on my PC, I got it all done. But in this one, I'm not having that luck. It's not going to let me go to Emerald Station. I'm too close. Lazy ass, go ride there, it says. Alright, so if I can do that, I can just fast travel to Blackwater just as easy. I'm too lazy, but I don't care. Yeah, so infamous. I really need to know what determines who the infamous are.
Hello.
So Discord is on here. And I'm not running it through the PC, so I'm going to see streamer mode enabled. User settings. Audio, video, voice and video. Alright, I better get moving here. I'm going to... But yeah, I'm going to take a couple minutes here and just... Oh, sweet. In the basement. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I remember the one. Do you know in the tower? There's like the fort. Sorry. There's a building in the fort. When you go into the house and in behind a bunch of boxes, there's a spot down underneath there, and I think I remember pulling absinthe out of there too. And I was like, what? Okay, I got to do this editorial, but I need to get my glasses too, so I will be right back. This is a moment to, and I'm going to learn how to put all the be right back stuff and everything in there, but not today. Oops, not today. I will be right back. Alright, as my materials are required, I'm going to start this legendary bounty. Because they don't cook anyway, so there we go. Emerald Edidoil. If I do it right, I should not have to fire a shot, but if it goes wrong, then I gotta wait an hour to do it again. Because I don't keep trying. Once some things can go wrong, especially if you have a big posse, or all it takes is one person, not to hide outside of Edda's sight for it to go wrong. So I generally do it, but when I'm in posses by myself, or in playing by myself, or in a posse with one other person, or something like that. And it works the same. They won't shoot on you, but because the dynamic plays different things all the time, you never know what sort of little weird glitch it might throw you in. Yeah, I use the G-Rop key as well.
All right. Etta Doyle
I used to hate this one though.
used to be known as Madame La Pearl.
And
She
then I
runs a
did
gang
the
of other fallen women,
Ember of the
sticking
East
up
as well.
trains and coaches mostly,
And you can do that
but
if you
seems to have
get
a
lucky.
particular
But
fancy for
I had to
robbing
spend
Leviticus
50
Cornwall
capitale.
of late. So his men have set a honeypot to lure her in. Tipped her off about a big stash of money and ammunition at Cornwall's freight yard in Saint Denis. Asked if I can send some good bounty hunters their way. Just
I was
be
just
careful.
invited to go into
They play
Shanty's,
smart.
but I'm gonna have to finish this. Sorry, Shanty.
Looks like she only sent one.
Okay, we gotta move fast here. Come on.
Only
That
sent
place already
one.
gets sent. Her girls.
I feel so offended.
Mr. Cornwall, you don't want his name anywhere near this for reasons I'm sure you can understand. Just wants it dealt with quick and quiet. You're gonna want to ensconce yourself in here. Now wait till they bust in, and then, when the moment's right, ambush Miss Doyle and escort her into custody. They want her alive.
You get paid, we get rid of her, everyone's happy. Now don't worry about her cronies. She's the one with the price on her head. They're notorious for dressing alike. So you bide your time, you figure out which one's Doyle. You'll know for sure when you see her face. Got a big old scar down her right cheek.
And we're just gonna hang around and stand guard, create some semblance of security, and just pray the crazy bitch don't bust in and shoot us straight in the face. All right, now, it's time. Find a place to hide, and we'll wait for the guest of honor.
Alright, so I just run straight through to the back, jump over this, and then down into this underground. Then I drop down, call my wagon. Wait, you don't have to call before she shows up. But I'm going to send a message to Shanty saying I'm just in the middle of a... There we go. So that puts itself off to my right there. And then we just wait for Etta to show up. And if we do this right, we do not have to fire a shot. They'll be firing at me in the last part when I'm driving the wagon towards... But yeah, I like the not firing a shot. I'm a bit of a... save my bullets if I can.
Hey, fella! Give me a word?
Whoa! The hell you doing? This is private property.
I count 4 guns to 2, and I know which 4 are faster, so I strongly advise you boys to lower those rifles. Now!
Okay, look, we just work here. We don't want no trouble.
Too late for that.
Wait, please!
Thump.
Okay, girls, come on.
They don't have the sound where she smacks him on the head.
Reminds me of the factory we hit in Phoenix.
So this takes about 3 to 5 minutes of just waiting.
Security. We don't find nothing soon. I reckon we just split.
It's hard to wait, very hard to wait, especially if you're in with a group of young people. They don't want to wait. They want to go out there and just shoot her.
Still out cold. Seem it? I think this one's still breathing. I thought I saw
The trick with this afterwards is you have to leave it to just sit. So I usually take a stream break because there's nothing more boring than sitting and watching the grass grow for 39 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I've already been streaming for 2 hours, but I'm going to leave this bounty running for the 40 minutes. And we're going to see if we get any more than the 225 because I've been trying very hard to break out of it. I had $450 on this once, almost $500 once. I had $513 once. And I can't figure out what's different, except that perhaps we were getting paid double then. It was one of the double pay, double XP, or one or the other. So we wait, and we see right to the side there, when we see her appear right there beside us and sit there, and then she says, well, there's no goddamn loot. This is a setup. Get out of here. Then you run out and rope her. So she's just showed up over there. But I'm still going to wait. And once I get her sitting in front of the sheriff's office, that's when I'll take a break. And it will be probably a good 50-minute break before I come back. And then I'll just turn the stream back on. This is a goddamn setup. So you go to your rope. And you go here. Okay.
Quick! Let's move out.
Okay, they come running past us. I pick her up. Oh, shoot. See, something's shooting at me. They're not supposed to be doing this at this point. Honestly, that's not supposed to happen. So they fixed that. So now I can go to retry the checkpoint. And see if we get lucky the second time. But usually that doesn't happen. But I came running out. I heard it was a goddamn set out. I came running out. And you usually have to wait for her to say, get out, let's get out of here. And if you come out too fast, so where is she at? I think I have to move the wagon. Did she do that even? Or is it off to the side? I have no idea. Just do the same thing. It's already off to the side. Okay. No, see, it's already. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do this unless I get killed and start from the beginning.
Look out, we got trouble.
So I'm curious to see what happens if I've never done it like this. Oh. You could just sit down here and kill everybody too while you're down here. Oh, shit. See, she's already taking off though. So once they take off, you're kind of running into some trouble where you're going to lose her.
You should have stayed well away from me.
Get my health up. They're going to kill me. They are going to kill me because I'm trying to be killed so I can... Yeah, I might just cancel this because it's not quite the plan that I had there. And what I'll do is take a break from here. And when I come on, I'll try the PC. I can't do Discord with it. Well, you know what I can do? I'm going to try and put my phone on Discord so I can see the messages on there. And I might, yeah, if I can see the messages on there, because I'm in Discord still with you. So if I eliminate that one thing out of what I was doing to the PC, and I'm going to reboot the PC. Like I say, its poor little 8 gigs just blows its poor little brain. So yeah, we'll leave here and stop this stream. So I thank everyone who's joined in and for all your comments, and especially you, David. You've given me lots of things that I can think about here and that I can add in. So I am going to stop the stream here now, and we'll see you in the PC.